You know, some ride mopeds to save money. Others ride mopeds because, I don't know, they've run afoul of the law and can't drive anything else at that time. And you're starting to see more and more of them around the low country. They can get 70 miles a gallon, but they can also expose the rider to danger. And I've asked a moped rider to join us today, Todd Simonis. He is a minister in Mount Pleasant and doesn't fall under the other category, if you will, of those who drive mopeds because they're not licensed to drive anything else for various reasons. But I wanted to ask you to come in today because we're seeing more and more of these. And I know the moped's not your primary mode of transportation, but you do ride it leisurely. And how safe do you feel when out on the roads?
I feel incredibly safe. I find that I take a lot of back roads, so I'm not competing with a lot of faster traffic. So the fastest road I ever take it on, the speed limit's 40, so I can move with traffic, don't weave in and out of traffic. So I actually feel incredibly safe.
How do you think you're viewed, do folks seem to allow road and time and space for you?
Yeah, especially in the route I take. I feel like I'm a bit between, people respect me kind of like a bicyclist in that they really do provide right-of-way and safety. In fact, I think there are times that if I were a car, other vehicles would pull out in front of me, but because they see me coming, they actually give me some extra space. So I really do feel very safe.
Now, helmets aren't required.
No, but for me to get it, I had to make an agreement with my wife. I would always wear the helmet, and I'm really glad I do. I think even I haven't been in an accident or fallen or anything, but even a rock coming up from the road or bugs, anything that just protects the face, that's part of what keeps me safe, I think. And I don't know how people do it without having that facial protection.
What was your attractiveness to it? Economics?
A little. I was curious about what it would be like, but we did look into it. It was 2 years ago, kind of as gas prices were definitely creeping toward the $4 mark, and I get just over 100 miles to the gallon on mine, and so it's paid for itself in 2 years.
Right. Now, I'm told that protocol is not to wave it like somebody on a real motorcycle. That will give you a whole lot of street cred there, do you, if they're on a Harley or whatever?
I try to stay away from the motorcycle bars and anything else. No, I don't wave to the motorcyclists unless to provoke them, but typically it's not a good idea.
Because they're not really making eye contact with somebody on a moped.
I don't count. I am a bicycle in their eyes. So it is the moped community, I guess. We have a separate wave.
And there are places you're still not allowed to go, right, out of safety concerns and the amount of speed that other traffic would be going?
Correct. And, I've seen some people taking theirs over the Ravenel Bridge. I can't imagine doing that in traffic. So I play it safe in Mount Pleasant. It doesn't leave Mount Pleasant. Is
there any type of quote-unquote brotherhood of those who do man the moped, if you will?
I've always respected the nun, the Catholic nun in Mount Pleasant. I don't know if she and I are kindred hearts or something, but my boss, Steve Wood at St. Andrews, he rides one as well. So there are a few of us, but I do not know of any private clubs or anything that currently exist now.
Are there family folks that feel concerned every time you leave the house on one?
I've always joked that I'd love to get a little sidecar for my 5-year-old daughter to take her to school in the morning, but they don't make them. So no, I think my wife understands how safe they are. She loves how quickly I can run out and run errands, get anything like that. So from a family perspective, I'm in the clear.
I've seen a couple of, especially West Ashley, just businesses just surface out of nowhere selling some of these smaller scooters and such. So there does seem to be a certain demand for whatever the reason the person feels he or she needs to get where they need to go.
Yeah, and I can really see downtown being attractive too, where parking is a little bit more difficult and you need to be creative. I can definitely see that downtown being an attractive option for people.
Given the recent amount of publicity, I guess, and there really wasn't any cause for why I think the Post and Courier noticed it and commented on it on some of its news articles, and then this particular interview as well. Do you sense a movement, or is it just something kind of a sense out of necessity or supply and demand kind of thing?
Personally, I'm hoping for an endorsement deal. If there's anybody from Honda who'd like to sponsor me, I'm happy to put on decals or
minister on a moped,
whatever. And I'll pretty much sell out for that. So
all right.
I'm not sure what it is, other than I think we live in such a beautiful place. It's something that I'm from the north, and this wouldn't be an option for 9 months out of the year there. Here, it's an option for 10 months out of the year, pretty much. Every day you could ride it if you wanted to.
And for a gallon of gas, you can probably ride and ride and ride.
Yeah, 2 weeks of commuting for me on a gallon of gas.
Wow. All right, Todd, good to meet you.
Thank you.
All the best. And you might see him the minister on the moped, from time to time in the Low Country. We thank him for being with us here on In the News.